soap? What are you planning to do? Wash them away?
Lucky charm!
I'd say you're on a roll.
Finally, after 15 years, we finally have a new Season 6 episode from this damn show that I absolutely love but still get frustrated with. Hey, it's the hero. I hope you're having a very good day. Today we'll be talking about Season 6, Episode 17, A Very Good Night. We start the episode in Max's room as he is getting ready for bed.
Kalki!
Come on, even babies don't go to sleep this early.
Honestly, before I always used to sleep at 10 p.m. or any time past 10 p.m. and now I sleep the same time Max is sleeping, if not earlier, and it honestly feels great, so I have no idea why Kalki is complaining. He gets into bed and calls his mother in to look for the International Space Station with him before he goes to sleep.
I'm in bed, Mom!
Okay, let's talk about the animation for the 100th time. It looks good, obviously, but there's always a but. It looks slow. The reason I think this is because the animation is smooth and it doesn't have variations in velocity. Well, that critique is more for action scenes, but in this scene, his mother is walking at a decent pace, but it looks slow for some reason and I cannot pinpoint why exactly.
There! The International Space Station! Between the constellations of the Eagle and the Snake!
Is this live footage of where the ISS is? Like, is this in real time? If so, how does Markov have access to its exact coordinates? Okay, after a quick Google search, I realized that it is very easy to get the coordinates of the ISS. I assumed something like that would be kept top secret or something. I guess I was just wrong, which rarely ever happens. I am almost always right. Chloe gets a call from her boss or partner, Thomas, and she is told she is going to space. Then the intro plays, and when we return, we have a look at the contrasting differences between Marinette and Max's life.
Marinette, are you up? Yes, Mom.
Marinette is such a mess compared to Max, who is so organized. I wish I could just hear my alarm and wake up without having any trouble getting out of bed. Honestly, it feels like a chore every time I have to get out of bed, even though I sleep around the same time as Max and get 7 to 8 hours of sleep.
Remember to put the hamper back where it belongs, sweetheart.
Let's talk about the animation for the 1000th time. Do you remember Chillin', the episode famously known for how horrible the animation was? Yeah, in that episode, the same thing happened to Marinette. She fell down the stairs into the clothes. And while that animation quality was absolutely horrible, the motion and movements felt better. The scene in Season 6 felt slow, like no one falls that slow down the stairs. In trying to make the animation smooth, it just looks slow in some scenes that are actually meant to be fast-paced. Look at him, he's so cute. I think I've officially reached the age where I want to have kids. Max should be like 14 or 15, meaning he's young enough to be my brother, and I would spoil the hell out of him with money I don't even have. Just look at that face, he's so cute.
Would you be kind enough to give your seat to my friend here? It's where he usually sits, which he finds reassuring.
Of course, no problem.
Thank you for your understanding, sir.
This is the most unrealistic thing I have seen. Well, it's not super unrealistic, but I think the man's reaction after being asked to move was unrealistic. People would not be all smiley to give up their seat after someone asks them to. And it's not a weak elderly person who one should obviously give up their seat for. It's a young man who seems perfectly healthy. Yes, we as the audience know that he has a disability, but that man doesn't know that, so his reaction seems so unusual. Max arrives at school on time and super calm, while Marinette is rushing to the door with a dust cloud following her, and Max doesn't even flinch because this is simply normal to him. They start their science class where Max's mom is telling them about what she will do in space.
The truth is, I have some autism spectrum disorders which make things a bit more complicated.
Max, I think a level 1 explanation would be preferable.
I understood what he said perfectly, and I'm sure the others understood him well without him explaining things as if they were 5 to 9-year-olds watching a show about educating people on autism.
I also need to plan everything ahead and create rituals. I don't do well with unexpected events.
That sounds like a nightmare for him. I personally love change, not big changes like moving houses every 2 months or changing cities every year. I mean minor ones like rearranging stuff in the house, changing my desktop layout or my phone's layout, and so on. And I think it is a nightmare for Max since everything is constantly changing. Nothing will stay the same. To help Max cope with the change, Marinette suggested that he stays a night at a friend's place, and Max goes to see his therapist to talk about this.
Since I've never done it before, I can't be 100% sure.
Quite significant indeed.
Ah, yes, her favorite word, significant. It is quite significant that she uses this significant word a significant amount of times. The therapist tells Max that he should choose a welcoming family, and he chooses Marinette. And yes, her family is welcoming, but perhaps it would have been a super cool idea if it chose Adrien. Have Adrien be the focus of the episode. Well, not the focus, but I don't know, have him be more of a character, have him also have a solo episode where Ladybug isn't involved, not even in a side storyline within the episode. Then we could see that Adrien has friends that aren't directly related to Marinette, because despite what this episode tells us about Max and Marinette being kind of close, they are not that close. And yes, you could argue that Adrien and Max aren't close too, but we could actually use that. Since Adrien used to follow a strict schedule, Max should feel more at ease when he is with Adrien since they are kind of similar. Max is shown where he will sleep, and before dinner starts, we see Max and Marinette playing some chess. And unfortunately, it was kind of hard to see who was winning in the game because of the camera angle. I wish they showed it better. But from what I could tell, they kind of just started the game, like Marinette barely moved any of her pieces, and the piece she did move got eaten.
You don't like pastries?
Wow, now I am in the mood for some pastries, and there's so many too. Gosh, it must be a dream living in a bakery. You can have any of these pastries at any time you want.
I, who once slept on silk cushions embroidered with gold, am now sleeping in, can you guess, a drawer?
Since we are here, let's talk about the redesigns of the Kwamis. I actually like the idea of them having more unique features that correspond with their animal, but it is so hard to get used to. The old animation had them all looking almost the same, with obvious differences, and I think the designs back then were pretty good. And now it is still good, but it's just so odd to look at, especially Kalki's nostrils. Like, why did they add that? The Kwamis looked way better without nostrils. The only one that I could tolerate having nostrils was Long, but I can't accept it in the new animation.
That Max has adapted well to his role as a superhero? That everything's fine with him? Come on, who wouldn't be happy to be my holder?
Based on Tiki and Marinette's expressions, I'd say no one wants to be your holder. And the thing is, Kalki is actually a really nice Kwami. It's just that she is also very high maintenance, which is why she can be a real pain to deal with. Max knocks on Marinette's door, and this scene was really interesting.
Kalki, what?
Not Kalki what? Kalki. You know, my Kwami.
Marinette, why do we still have to keep our identities a secret? I mean, you told me you're Ladybug and it hasn't changed anything.
Like when Alia appeared, my mind registered that this was some sort of dream, but before she was there, I thought that Max actually knew Marinette was Ladybug.
Lying again, always lying. The burden is too much to bear.
Okay, Max in the background looks creepy as hell. Why is he just standing there smiling like that?
Yo, bro, who got you smiling like that? Like,
You're supposed to be in Brazil.
You'll feel better once you're rid of your secrets, Marinette. Let's drop the masks.
Let me just say some random thing here so that it can separate this clip and the next clip so that this video won't get copyright claimed. Okay, I didn't write anything past this part for this part. Let's see, what can I say? I'm doing really well, blah, 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 blah. I cannot wait for Hotfix. Oh my god, Marinette will be traumatized. I cannot wait for that. Like, oh my god, you don't understand how exciting this is. Like, listen, I am kind of skeptical about Marinette getting akumatized, but like it looks like it's gonna happen, okay? Tiki looked mortified in the trailer, okay? Like it might happen. You don't know, I don't know. We don't know if it might happen, but I think it might. It might, okay? It might. I don't know. We will see when the episode is released. I'm just so excited. Oh my gosh. And we'll see a Cat Noir transformation in the new animation style too, which I'm really excited to see. Oh gosh.
No more living and hiding. Let the world know how exceptional I am. Those weren't my friends, Kelki. They were just projections of things I wish for. You wish everyone could stop hiding their secret identities? It'd make things easier, yes. Unfortunately, it just can't be.
Marinette confirming that her deepest desire is that people don't have to hide their identities. But I don't think that's quite it. In French, there is a saying that translates to, what is your true face? Basically meaning, what is your true colors? Basically, what I think her deepest desire meant was that she wanted everyone to drop their quote-unquote masks. She wants everyone to know the truth about Gabriel Agreste, and she wants to be honest with Adrien. Okay, now that I think about it, secret identities actually work since this is a kids show and adults can read between the lines. We will know that she means being our true selves, but still, I think it would have been better if she didn't use the wording of wanting everyone to reveal their identities, superhero identities. I mean.
I love meringues, but this is way too much!
Listen, I have no idea why this man is running away. If I was in his position, I would absolutely devour that pastry. If it was pain au chocolat, I would be eating it all night, mark my words. Marinette transforms and calls Cat Noir. Kelki goes to see Max and he is also having his dream of staying with his mother. Ladybug contacts him and he does hesitate to go at first, but then finally makes the right choice.
You can stay home. Forever.
No, Mom. I want to keep exploring new things, the way you explore space.
This is actually good development. He wants to change. He wants to be able to explore new things and not feel helpless. And this is what I like. Now that all the other characters are miraculous holders, we get to see their reason for wanting to be a hero. Not just because Ladybug said they should do it, but because being a hero allows them to overcome their struggles.
How have things been since I've entrusted you with your Miraculous? And since you've been living with Kelki?
Just fine. I'm very happy to be a superhero and get the opportunity to be of use to you and the people of Paris.
I think he knows that people wrap him in cotton wool, and I just thought of the most iconic song of 2019. Anyway, people wrap him in cotton wool as Max, but as Pegasus, he can be the hero that helps people.
Power up!
Boo! I actually hate the fact that they just eat the food to get the power up instead of the Kwamis eating it. I get that it's for convenience, but I still hate it. Also, it's not for convenience for the characters, it's for the writers, because if they transform as Ladybug and Cat Noir, the writers won't have to write a scene where they de-transform and retransform. I prefer the old version where the Kwamis had to eat it. It was more iconic.
I bet it's the pacifier. That's the symbol we can see from Earth.
How did she get to the moon? Did she just fly there after being akumatized? I guess we'll never know. Chrysalis wakes her up and everyone fights. There isn't really anything interesting with this fight scene, but it is actually crazy how Ladybug is losing her ability to know how to use her lucky charm.
Lucky charm!
Soap? What are you planning to do?
No, that's not it. Lucky charm! Spray some soap now to skate?
It must be something, don't you think?
What? I'm just not seeing it. Lucky charm! What do the soap, roller skate, and banana have in common? Sliding, that's what!
Like, she is losing her touch. I think it might have to do with all the stress as being Ladybug and her keeping the secret about Gabriel, but still, it's sloppy work on her part.
Welcome to Earth.
Cataclysm!
Well, that was lame. Was I the only one who wished to see a proper fight between Ladybug, Cat Noir, and this 5-year-old child? Like, I wanted to see some proper action. Have the girl actually be able to fight and have them fight her back. Have them actually throw punches at the child. I suppose I was expecting too much.
When I'm near you, in my heart, emotions arise, and my stomach fills with butterflies.
I had no idea Lila was such a poet. I should actually use that when I write someone a love letter. It sounds so amazing to the ear too. I'd say the English dub did it the best.
In my heart, emotions arise, and my stomach fills with butterflies. Well, this is a love letter, Max. It means someone's in love with you.
I had no idea Lila was into nerds. But on a serious note, why is she targeting him? It seems rather odd, but I am intrigued to see where it'll go. That is the end of the episode, and wow, it was pretty okay. I didn't hate it. I loved that they focused on Max. In terms of plot progression, I'd say the letter Lila sent to Max was the most interesting, which also begs the question, will Max betray the hero team? It seems unlikely, but at the same time, what if Lila manipulates him into making him betray the team? That would be interesting. I also think the autism education part of the episode was done pretty well. It wasn't forced down our throats, it was just a piece of information that felt natural. But since I am not autistic, I cannot say if it was represented well. So I have decided to invite someone to tell us his opinion on the representation in this episode.
Thanks for letting me say a few words. As someone on the autism spectrum, I thought this episode handled navigating a world with such a disability remarkably well. They didn't paint a caricature out of Max, nor did they present his autism in a bad or offensive light. They really hammered home that his needs are simply more pronounced than the average person. His brain is wired differently compared to the average person, and thus everything feels different for him. He exists outside the neurotypical framework of the world, and thus not only excels in areas where most do not, but the inverse as well. He finds it difficult to adapt to change, much like me, and he requires familiarity and certain comforts to maintain his composure and prevent a meltdown. I could relate to that very deeply. Honestly, Max clutching and feeling the felt heart for reassurance in spite of the curveballs thrown at him felt like looking in a mirror, at myself, at the lack of understanding of the nuances of the world around me, and how I choose to cope with such distress. Like rewatching Hawkmoth monologues and the She-Ra intro repeatedly, to give me a distraction and bring my mind to a place of familiarity and control. Max's routine being so ordained and regimented, planned right down to the most minute of details, gives him a sense of control. In a world that deprives him of reason and predictability, he finds it wherever he can. In the smallest of cracks, in the fray of his own life, he builds a carefully balanced set of rules and desires that guide him through the day. They're almost like anchors which keep his emotions in place. It's a beautifully accurate picture of the autistic experience, seeking familiarity and control wherever you can, making you seem restrictive and unmovable to others who may not understand. Thankfully, this episode imagines a world where neurotypical people are more than willing to accommodate to Max's disability. And frankly, it was quite a wonderful method of wish fulfillment. Max is flourishing, all because of the support of his loved ones. All I could do when those end credits begin to roll is sit and ponder how Max's difficulties have come to represent my own, and where our paths have crossed due to our shared neurodivergence. And while my brain is deep in contemplation, a single thought lights up within. A beautiful thought. A comforting thought. One that I hope resonates with everyone watching, as much as it resonates with me. Maybe I'm not so alone, after all.
Thank you so much for your time, Critical Retrospective. I'm glad to hear that the show is doing something right. And of course, that is his opinion and personal experience. If you feel differently, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I have to say for now. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe, and check out my other videos. You might enjoy them too. Don't forget to share your thoughts and theories on the episode down below. I'd love to read it. See you soon, and stay miraculous.